Okay, hi Katie. As we were discussing our proposal, and like I was telling you in the email, I kind of have the proposal here since it is supposed to be a unit on cultural, something linked to what's going on right now in the culture and relevant news and stuff like that. I chose to do it on the DACA Dreamers, and the end goal would be for them to do a argumentative essay. I posted all this stuff on our Google Classroom. So I have for the lesson unit, we would begin with the articles and discussion questions. I posted 5 different articles on the Google Classroom as material. So if you want to look at that later on, I'm thinking we can choose out of the 5, maybe we can choose 3 for the actual unit and then come up with a couple of discussion questions. And then I don't know if you're familiar with Padlet, but it's basically it's kind of like a website where you can create little posts and the students can interact with it. I can post some videos on Google Classroom so you can kind of review it. And then I wanted to do a peer review activity with them within the unit itself. And I do have a quiz is as a formative assessment. And then their summative assessment would be the research paper. So I kind of have it there in the way I have it here organized is kind of the layout. I'm not super sure right now on the timeline. I'm thinking maybe maybe a 5-week unit. The first week can be to introduce the argumentative essay, resources and stuff like that. And then each week can be assigned an article. So like week 1 would be introducing the argumentative essay. Week 2 can be the article 1. Week 3, article 2. Week 4, article 3. And then week 5 would be them writing the actual argumentative essay. So I think maybe like a 5-week lesson unit would suffice to meet all the requirements, the discussion questions. So it's basically a lesson plan that we're going to be creating together with all the activities and handouts. Quizzes already comes there. I'm pretty sure we can find a quizzes that's already created based on argumentative essay writing. There's tons of free stuff there already. Again, I already posted the articles on the DACA Dreamers. And it would just be creating the discussion questions, selecting the TEKS. I know Dr. Dougherty posted the TEKS. So in their Google form that they have there for the collaborative assignment, they have the questions. I posted the questions here too. There's some sections that are assigned to you and some sections that are assigned to me. So I'm going to open it up as a PDF file. I want to say I posted the questions here too. Yes, so here are the questions in the PDF file. So it says creating a playlist or matching expectations to student interests. So letter A says, what are the content expectations of my school district, state, or district for writing? So I'm supposed to be providing that. The content expectations for my district. I work for the Laredo Independent School District in Laredo, Texas, so I'll provide that. It also says I'm going to be providing my students' concerns, interests, and questions. The TEKS, again, the TEKS is very easy to choose. The TEKS will be the argumentative essay, so we're going to be choosing the grade level seniors. So it's going to be 12th grade English 4 / English 1302. So in my campus, we do have the dual enrollment program, which is the seniors who are taking English 1301, 1302 for college are able to receive credit for college courses, and it'll take the place of the English 4 class requirement. So again, our grade level is 12th grade. The class will be English 4 / English 1302. Our TEKS will be from the argumentative essay. So I'll post those. How can we connect these things? So we'll discuss that. Then for number 2, it says managing content or curating culturally relevant resources. I have already posted some of the resources, which are the articles, and I did choose the topic of the DACA Dreamers just because it is relevant. I live in a border town. So I live in a border town. 57% of the students on my campus are English learners, and a lot of them have dual citizenship. So they're American, but their family are Mexican, and they live across the border. So as U.S. citizens, my students have the right to cross every day because they're U.S. citizens, but their family, and some of them were deported. Some of their family members were deported. So that's why I decided to choose this topic that is actually relevant in the lives of my students. When actually the pandemic started, our borders were closed. So half of our students cross daily. So they were reaching out to me, ma'am, I can't go to your class, the border's closed. So locally, our border closed for a good while. And thankfully, since we were doing virtual towards the end of March when the whole pandemic started, after spring break, towards the end of March, we started teaching virtually. So the students were fine, like they were still going virtual and attending the classes online, so they didn't miss out. So right now, I am teaching at campus and I'm teaching online. For about 2 weeks, I had 2 students showing up in person. And then last week, we did get maybe 7 new cases on my campus that tested positive for the coronavirus. So my 2 students that were showing up stopped showing up. So the pandemic has totally swayed and changed the way we taught and teach now. I literally had to YouTube a lot of tutorials on how to learn how to use Google Classroom. My district did try to provide training, but let me tell you, the training was just very basic and not enough. So I had to learn through tutorials so I could teach my department. I had my teachers, I had like teachers that are 60, 65 years old calling me at 11 p.m. at night so I could guide them on how to create their Google Classroom, on how to create assignments. So, I mean, the pandemic has thrown teaching and everything for a loop. And I know you as a healthcare worker, I mean, you're in the front line, you're experiencing, you're seeing all these cases. And then not to get political, but it is the election night. You know, President Trump declared teachers essential workers. So my campus, my district forced us to go back. We have 2 school districts in my border town. The other district is doing rotations. My district, in the letter they sent us, it said the keyword, teachers have now been declared essential workers, so you have to report back to campus. So I have been teaching on campus for about 4 weeks already, even though we keep getting more cases. So yeah, it's been very hectic. So looping back to our project, I just found it fitting to choose that topic that is very culturally relevant to my students. And in the middle of the pandemic, I think even more so, students who are trying to graduate, actually want to be here in the United States, and that DACA should be honored when it was enacted a couple years ago. And then the strategies, I think I'll be providing. And then I think number 3 and number 4, we're going to be working on together based on the assignment rubric that we have. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't think it's going to be a hard project at all. I've done plenty of projects like this on my own with teams, lesson plans. We do lesson plans every week. So, it's just formatting. I know the professors want us to follow their template. So we can go ahead and do that. Their template and outline that they have is, very easy to follow. So I don't see us really changing it unless we want to. So do you have any questions, any concerns?
I feel a lot more at ease about this because, as I said before, I am not going into teaching. So I actually do not know a lot of what's going on, but I do feel comfortable, especially with everything that you've described. And I think it'll be a pretty good class
Yes, I'm so excited. Hopefully, hopefully Victoria can join us next time. I really thought she was gonna be here. The other option that the professor also said, we need to meet at least twice. So this one will be the first time we meet. The second time we can meet maybe next week or maybe in about 10 days. I know the proposal is due on November 22nd, and then the final project is due November 27th, and the proposal's on the 22nd. But I don't want to wait till then. So we basically kind of already have the proposal. I just need to type it up and add your components. So wherever it said undergraduate student, that would be you. That's what you would be providing. So if you want to go later on and look at those bullets, and you can just email it to me. She said we could create a copy of the Google Slides here, so it'll be like a live document, a Google Doc, so we can kind of contribute from there. I'll add Victoria as well, and I really don't see this taking more than a couple of days, honestly, to complete. Basically, since we have already the articles, the resources, the lesson unit. And by all means, if there's anything you want to add to the lesson, any activity, any handouts that you find, that would be perfect. The more the merrier, since we are planning a 5-week unit. So, that's usually a timeline for a writing project in a high school. It's typically from 2 weeks to about 6 weeks. In my campus, we do 9 weeks. So every 9 weeks, they get a report card grade. So I think a 5-week unit is pretty solid, especially when we're going to roll out other stuff like that. And I can even email you previous assignments I've created. We just finished the writing assignment number 3 for this class. And it was me doing a lesson unit on research papers. So kind of similar. It's just this one's argumentative for the purposes of the assignment. So feel free to email me, or we can meet on Google Meet again, but I will get my account fixed tomorrow. I don't know why all my passwords are synced up. So I'm glad I was able to figure it out through my phone at least, and then record it for those purposes. I'll post the recording on Google Classroom so Victoria can see it, just in case, she didn't make it. But basically that's it. And if you have any questions, reach out to me through email. I'm having issues with my cell phone, as you can see. So I can give you my cell phone number later on down the line, but I'm fixing my phone as well. I have like 18,000 pictures and files, so that might be the cost of that. But I'll post my classroom phone number as well, because that's the easiest way to reach me. My classroom, I'm always constantly working. So I'll post it on the Google Classroom. And if you want to post your cell phone as well, there, or whatever phone number, but I think email is fine, and then virtually meeting is enough. So, I mean, again, I don't think the assignment's really going to take us a long time. And that's basically it. If you have any questions, again, reach out to me. I guess we can reach out to Victoria too. So if you want to do, I think there's 3 or 4 components that you guys need to go over. So maybe you can split those between you and Victoria, so you both, contribute to the assignment. So wherever you see undergraduate student, that's where you and Victoria would come in. So you can maybe give her half of those duties. And then the rest, I'll already start posting tomorrow, and I'll do the Google Doc, so it's a live document. And if you have time and you're able to, maybe by this Friday, input your information, and then I'll work on it on the weekend, and then next week when we meet, it's kind of ready to go. We can revise and edit it, but basically would be good to go, and then submit. I want to submit as soon as possible, like I said, because my schedule is about to be super hectic already with all the STAR testing and everything. So I just wanted to be ready, and I didn't want to wait until November 22nd to submit. I also already emailed Dr. Dowdy the proposal, so I'm waiting to hear back from her as well. Okay?
Sounds good.
So great to meet you. Again, sorry for all the tech issues. But like I was telling you, I was already on since